The hardest journey in life isn't the road to success. It's the road that leads back to yourself. From the moment we're born, we learn how to interact with the world. We learn how to please others, how to earn approval, how to fit into society's expectations. But somewhere along the way, while trying to become the ideal version others expect, we slowly lose sight of who we really are. Some people spend their whole lives chasing goals without ever stopping to ask, who am I really? What kind of life do I truly want? So we end up feeling exhausted, anxious, afraid, and confused. We put on a brave face during the day, only to lie awake at night, staring at the ceiling. We think we're trying hard to live, but in truth, most of the time, we're just running away from our true selves. Learning to make peace with yourself, it sounds gentle, but it carries the deepest wisdom of life. It's not some feel-good slogan, it's an inner revolution. It means facing your wounds instead of covering them up, embracing your flaws instead of fighting them, allowing yourself to have regrets, mistakes, and imperfections, and still finding peace within. We often think growth is about conquering, winning, and surpassing, but true growth is about understanding, acceptance, and calm. It's seeing your own shadows clearly, yet choosing to embrace them with kindness. It's looking back on your struggles without judging your past self. It's facing your present chaos and anxiety while still believing you are worthy of moving forward. And it's looking toward the uncertain future without letting fear control you. Making peace with yourself is not about giving up or lowering your standards. It's about wisdom, strength, and mature courage. It teaches us that the most important battle in life isn't against others, but against our own resistance. When you finally stand on your own side instead of against yourself, you'll feel a kind of freedom you've never known before. A calm and ease that comes from deep within. Because you'll finally understand you don't have to prove anything. You don't have to please anyone. You just have to be true to who you are and walk your own path. Most of our pain doesn't come from external pressure, but from the hostility we direct toward ourselves. We are too harsh, too demanding, too unforgiving. And when we fall short, we convince ourselves we're worthless. But think about it. If you can tell someone else it's okay, why can't you say the same thing to yourself? Making peace with yourself isn't a sudden epiphany. It's a lifelong practice. It requires forgiving your past, understanding your present, and trusting your future. It asks you to whisper to yourself in nights of doubt, I am worthy of love. It asks you, after failure and disappointment, to remind yourself it's okay. I'll rise again. This is one of life's hardest lessons. There's no formula, no shortcut, no teacher but your own experience. Some learn it in years, others in a lifetime. But no matter how long it takes, only those who make peace with themselves truly learn how to live. So today we're not just talking about self-acceptance. We're talking about how to face yourself, understand yourself, embrace yourself, and live in peace with who you are. We'll explore this journey through 3 lenses. First, making peace with your past, learning to let go. Second, making peace with your present, learning to accept. And third, making peace with your future, learning to trust. And the thread that connects it all is a gentle strength, the power to grow through understanding and to move forward through acceptance. Because only when you are at peace with yourself does your life truly begin. If you, too, are searching for your true self and want to learn how to make peace with your past, then click subscribe to my channel. Let's walk this journey together and slowly learn how to make peace with ourselves and live the life we truly want. In everyone's heart, there lives a version of themselves they don't want to talk about. Maybe that version hides in a certain memory, in an old song, or in those late night moments you don't dare to revisit. Some people regret the words they once said. Some mourn the people they let slip away. Some still blame their younger selves. Why wasn't I braver? Why wasn't I wiser? Why didn't I try one more time? But life has no restart button. Time doesn't rewind, and fate doesn't replay. Everything in the past, good or bad, has already become a part of who you are. You can deny it, run from it, even hate it, but it will always be there, quiet, stubborn, reminding you that was your path, your proof of existence. One of the easiest traps we fall into is judging our past selves by the standards of who we are now. But the truth is, you really did your best back then. You loved, chose, and persisted in the only ways you knew how. Maybe you were clumsy, impulsive, naive, but those were the most honest choices you could make with what you knew at the time. That wasn't failure. That was the price of growth. So stop being so hard on the imperfect version of yourself. Maybe that person made mistakes, but they never gave up. Maybe they were heartbroken, but they still believed in kindness. Maybe they had nothing, but they kept moving forward. That version of you is the reason you're here today. So take a deep breath and sincerely say to your past self, thank you. Thank you for holding on during the darkest days. Thank you for loving, even when you didn't yet understand what love meant. Thank you for choosing to keep going instead of running away when you were lost. Without that version of you, there wouldn't be the person you are now. Those nights that made you cry, those moments you can't bear to remember, those days you thought you'd never survive, they were all quietly shaping you, strengthening you, making you resilient. Life never lets pain go to waste. Every wound gives you new power. You were just too young to see it at the time. Making peace with your past doesn't mean forgetting it. You don't have to pretend those experiences never happened, nor force yourself to smile through them. The point of reconciliation is understanding. You begin to see that the mistakes taught you discernment. The regrets taught you to cherish what matters. The goodbyes taught you independence. Every stage of life exists for a reason. The what-ifs are only imagination, but the what-was is truth. We can't go back and make different choices, but we can choose to face the past with gentleness. When you finally learn to forgive who you once were, you'll feel a sense of lightness wash over you. The regrets and shame that once chained you down begin to loosen their grip. You find the strength to move forward, the courage to say, I'm not perfect, but I'm enough. Living with your past isn't about carrying a burden, it's about carrying wisdom. Those stories no longer weigh you down. They give you grounding. You've learned to live with your scars instead of your grudges, to smile through experience instead of suffering in silence. Forgiving the past isn't for the past, it's for the future. Only when you release the years you cannot change can you truly welcome new winds, new light, and a new version of yourself. Modern society makes it far too easy for us to feel anxious. Every morning when we wake up, the first thing we see isn't sunlight. It's a screen full of other people's lives. Someone's traveling, someone's working out, someone's getting promoted, buying a house, or driving a new car. We scroll through other people's highlight reels and forget that those moments only last a few seconds in their lives. Yet we use their peaks to measure our own every day. And so we grow increasingly uneasy. We fear falling behind, being left out, not being good enough. We start to wonder, am I not working hard enough? Am I not smart enough? And eventually we start to doubt our entire worth. But the truth is we're not good enough. We're just too eager to become better. We crave instant success, forgetting that growth always takes time. We want results right now, overlooking the fact that the process itself is what gives life meaning. Life was never meant to be a race against others. It's more like a personal journey, one that belongs only to you. Some people shine early because they found their path sooner. Others bloom later because they needed more time to grow. And those who are still figuring things out aren't behind. They're simply gathering strength. Don't let someone else's pace define your worth. Everyone has their own season. Spring is for growing. Autumn is for grounding. The effort you're putting in now might not show results yet, but someday it will blossom in its own form. Making peace with who you are now means allowing yourself to not be your best yet. You don't have to be perfect, productive, or pleasing everyone all the time. You're allowed to feel tired, emotional, or unmotivated. That doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're human. True maturity isn't about having no weaknesses. It's about moving forward even when you do. You can slow down because growth isn't about speed. It's about direction. You can pause because life isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. What matters isn't how fast you're running, but that you're still moving. Learn to be kind to your now. When you look in the mirror and see a messy life, a tired face, and a restless heart, tell yourself it's okay. I'm trying. That isn't just comfort, it's a gentle affirmation. It reminds you that you don't need to be perfect to deserve respect, understanding, and love. Real confidence isn't about making everyone else envy you. It's about finally not envying anyone else. It's about no longer being dragged by others' pace or haunted by external noise, but being able to say firmly, I have my own rhythm. I have my own direction. You still have dreams, doubts, and unfinished goals, but now you've learned to love yourself along the way. When pressure comes, you don't run, you give yourself space to breathe. When anxiety hits, you don't self-destruct, you whisper to yourself, I'm already doing enough. Because you've begun to understand life isn't only about outcomes, it's about the process. It's not only about goals, it's about breathing. Don't forget, you're not a bystander in your life. You are the main character. Every moment you live is your story. You don't need to compare yourself to anyone. You just need to stay true to who you are. When you stop fighting yourself, stop torturing yourself with shoulds, and start embracing the real, imperfect, yet striving version of you, you'll realize that happiness isn't about reaching some perfect state. It's about finding peace in the present. Even if today isn't ideal, even if you're still unsure of where you're going, believe this. As long as you're growing, you're moving forward. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be real. You don't have to shine. You're already one of a kind. Accepting the present is the greatest form of respect for life. Because only when you make peace with who you are now can the road ahead truly become brighter and wider. The future is something we all long for, yet fear at the same time. It's like a forest shrouded in mist. You can see the light, but not the path. It calls to us from afar, but never reveals the answers. We crave it, yet we're afraid of it because it holds too many unknowns, unknown opportunities, unknown risks, unknown turns. And so we become anxious. We imagine every possible outcome. What if I fail? What if my efforts lead nowhere? What if I take the wrong path and can't turn back? We plan, calculate, compare, and second guess endlessly, trying to capture the future in our hands, trying to use logic to tame the uncertainty of fate. But the truth is, no one can fully control the future. Even if you've arranged everything perfectly, life has its own rhythm. Sometimes it breaks the rules, makes you take detours, stumble, or pause. Yet those unexpected moments may be exactly what you need to grow. Life has always been a journey through uncertainty. The future isn't a straight highway. It's a winding mountain road with flat stretches and steep climbs, bright passages, and shadowed turns. You can't predict what's around the corner, but you can choose how you walk, fearfully or with faith. Making peace with your future self means learning to trust life's timing and your own pace. You must believe that the things you don't yet understand will one day become reasons for gratitude. Believe that the efforts which seem meaningless now are quietly paving your path. Maybe today you're still trudging through the mud, Maybe your hard work hasn't borne fruit yet, but don't doubt yourself. Life never fails those who live with sincerity. Sometimes it's not that you haven't worked hard enough. It's just that your moment hasn't come yet. Flowers bloom in their season, fruit ripens in its time. Life will hand you the right answers when you're truly ready. You have to understand, life doesn't owe you an instant result. No matter how anxious or impatient you are, the future won't arrive any faster. It won't change course because of your fear, nor speed up because of your worry. It will only grow gentler because of your steady effort. So, give yourself some patience. Don't let anxiety steal your peace in the present. Don't let fear tie down your courage to move forward. You don't need to see the whole path right now. You only need to trust that you're moving in the right direction. Even if your steps are slow, even if the road ahead is still blurry, it's okay, because you'll get there. The future you will thank you for not giving up, for your perseverance today, for your courage to keep going despite the obstacles. The future isn't some unreachable dream. It's quietly approaching, hidden in your daily actions and every choice not to quit. So don't just wait for the wind, learn to chase it. Don't just wait for luck, build your strength. Don't just wait for tomorrow, plant the seeds of hope today. Because the future isn't a single moment that suddenly arrives. It's built from countless nows stacked together. Every bit of effort you make today is paving the way for the person you're becoming. When you truly believe you deserve a better future, when you choose to trust even amidst uncertainty, the future will respond to your courage. It will come to you in the gentlest way, bringing the light that has always been meant for you. In this life, the person we deal with the most isn't anyone else. It's ourselves. Yet, ironically, we tend to treat ourselves the harshest. We show understanding toward others, but only blame ourselves. One small mistake, and we replay it endlessly in our minds. One setback, and we start doubting whether we're good enough. One imperfection, and we begin to question the meaning of our entire existence. We constantly push ourselves to be perfect, to be mature, strong, rational, flawless. But we forget, even machines break down sometimes, let alone humans made of flesh and blood, with emotions and scars. We're used to being gentle with others, but rarely kind to ourselves. When a friend feels down, we comfort them softly, saying, "Don't be too hard on yourself. Everything will be okay." Yet when we fall apart, we scold ourselves over and over. "You're so useless. You failed again. Why can't you be better?" We cry for others, but never show compassion for our own pain. We say it's okay to everyone else, but never truly say those words to ourselves. Sometimes we'd rather be misunderstood by others than forgive ourselves. Making peace with your inner self doesn't mean lowering your standards for life. It means learning to live without hostility while you strive to improve. It's not indulgence, it's gentle understanding. It's not laziness, it's compassionate self-awareness. When you fail, don't rush to label yourself as worthless. Failure simply means that path didn't work. It doesn't mean you don't work. When your emotions collapse, don't feel ashamed. That's just your body telling you that you've carried too much for too long and need to breathe. When you feel exhausted, give yourself permission to rest. Not every pause is a retreat. Sometimes it's a way to gather strength for the next step. Life is already hard enough. Don't let your own heart become the final weight that breaks you. You don't have to be strong all the time, nor perfect in everything you do. It's okay to have moments of weakness, to cry through sleepless nights. That doesn't make you fragile. It means you're still alive, still capable of feeling, still human. True strength isn't about being unbreakable. It's about staying gentle after the storm. That kind of gentleness isn't innate. It's forged through pain. It's choosing to remain kind even when misunderstood, and to remain tender even after being knocked down. That is power, a deeper form of maturity. Forgive yourself, not because you've done everything right, but because you finally understand that it's okay not to. You begin to realize that life isn't a test. No one gets every answer right. You're allowed to make mistakes, to regret, to change. That's what growth means. It's not an escape. It's the beginning of healing. When you stop looking at yourself through the lens of blame, you'll find that your inner voice quiets down and life begins to feel lighter. You'll start to learn that after every fall, what you need isn't criticism, it's a hug. You'll realize that real transformation begins with kindness, because when you treat yourself gently, you naturally begin to treat the world gently too. You stop blaming others out of anxiety, stop guarding yourself out of fear. You begin to see that being kind to yourself is being kind to life itself. And loving yourself isn't selfish. It's what gives you the strength to love others. Finally, you'll understand that life isn't a race against others. It's a journey toward peace with yourself. You don't have to win. You just need to feel at ease. When you put down that invisible whip, when you stop criticizing and start embracing your imperfections with tenderness, you'll see the truth. You've always been enough. You've always been worthy of love. Learning to make peace with yourself is the longest and most important lesson in life. It isn't a moment of sudden enlightenment, but a lifelong practice. It asks you to stand back up after every breakdown, to believe again after every doubt, and to understand yourself anew after every pain. Life will never be smooth sailing. There are roads you must walk alone, and obstacles no one else can help you cross. You will feel lost, broken, and directionless at times. But the moment you stop fighting yourself, when you no longer punish the present for the mistakes of the past, you've already taken the first step toward reconciliation. The wounds of your past will one day become the light that guides your future. The tears you've shed will one day illuminate your path forward. The things you once thought you'd never get over will, when you smile again, become the very reasons you've grown softer and kinder. Making peace with yourself doesn't mean becoming lazy or indifferent. It means finding a quiet strength in how you face life. You no longer let judgment from others define you, nor let anxiety consume you, nor let past mistakes dictate your worth. You begin to learn not to run from your emotions, but to listen to them, not to fear loneliness, but to embrace it, not to chase perfection, but to accept an imperfect life. Slowly, you realize that happiness was never far away. It lives in the moment you treat yourself with gentleness, in the instant you forgive your own mistakes, in the freedom of no longer forcing yourself to become someone else. In the end, true growth isn't about how much you've learned or how much you've earned. It's about learning how to live peacefully with yourself. When you can remain calm in solitude, stay gentle after failure, and still believe in light even in the darkness, that's when you've truly matured. Remember this. The most important relationship in your life isn't the one you have with others, but the one you have with yourself. Your understanding of yourself shapes how you see the world. Your compassion toward yourself determines how warmly you connect with others. You can keep chasing dreams, working hard, and moving forward, but don't forget along the way to pause and acknowledge the person who's still trying their best to live. Tell yourself, thank you. Thank you for not giving up. Tell yourself you've done enough. You're doing just fine. Making peace with yourself isn't the end. It's the beginning of a new life. Because once you learn to live in harmony with who you are, the whole world begins to feel softer. The wind still blows, the road still stretches ahead, but your heart no longer feels frantic. You start to see that some things don't need to be perfect, some dreams don't need to be rushed, some people don't need to be held onto, and some regrets can be gently laid to rest. You begin to understand that life isn't about winning, it's about walking. walking with honesty, with calm, with ease. That is the true meaning of making peace with yourself. It won't make your life perfect, but it will make your life softer, stronger, and more purposeful. So believe this, no matter where you are or what you're going through, you are worthy of understanding, of kindness, and of love. And may you never forget, on your journey of facing the world, that your greatest ally has always been and will always be you.